So very warm welcome, and let me know if the sound is clear and translation is working. I'd like to share with you a short meditation drill, and this is with Bap Dada giving a message in meditation, followed by drishti, which is like a spiritual gaze, and to enjoy this meditative atmosphere for a couple of minutes. Thank you.
एक सेकंड में अपने पूर्वज स्टेज पे आए। परम धाम निवासी बाप के साथ साथ लाइट हाउस पर विश्व को लाइट दे सकते हो। तो एक सेकंड में सभी चारों ओर देश विदेश में सुनने वाले, देखने वाले लाइट हाउस पर विश्व के चारों ओर सर्व आत्माओं को लाइट दो, प्रकाश दो, शक्तियां दो।
So welcome back. Such a beautiful reminder and drill. And I really like this statement that we help others to the extent that we've helped ourselves, and spiritually to experience the power of this freedom of the soul before coming into actions. And yesterday there was an invitation to do a mind map, and it was in the context of understanding the problem. So when we understand what is in the way, we can solve it easily. That's related to quote Einstein said, 55 minutes to understand the problem, then 5 minutes to solve it, to find the solution. So I wanted to share with you something I found helpful, which is maybe a kind of mind map. I'm not sure how easily you can see this. Should be a bit clearer now. But I really enjoy the different maps. This is a map of the mind which gets drawn in the Sanjeevani. And seeing all the identities on the right side, it's like when we are, yesterday it was said, when we mix with ego that is in the ego space, it's not that it's a little bit of ego. And this side is stuck in the honeypot, helplessly, the ego is selfish. So it's like a way of defining the problem, and you can write down what is important for you. What was the point that stood out for you? And then on the left, it's the solution, and the yoga is with this unmixed true self that is from the home and story-free, and is seeing the absurdity of Pata intellect. I really liked that yesterday. It helps us to be free when we see it, that behavior as absurd. And we are free from expectations in the story. So it's like one thing you may enjoy. I've enjoyed experimenting with mind mapping in this way. Thank you. And so I look forward to hearing your reflections. Thank you for the questions which have come since yesterday. And handing over now to Bishant. Warm welcome.
Thank you. And it's so nice to start with Drishti from Baba, and of course, some simple, powerful words. So let us create one more minute of like checking, or a reset. And when we say reset, it is 180 degrees turnaround. The world that we didn't even think of, now that world becomes our main world, the alokik world. It's everything new. New world, new family, new treasures, and new self. Even the idea of I is new. And if we use the right intellect, this appears normal and natural. It's just like waking up, coming out of a dream, and then everything is different to what was in the dream. You are discovering the real world, and you even discover yourself when you wake up. It is like that. The true self wakes up. And it is a great news, because this world is the world with God, world of immortality. It is a world of truth. Until then, it was fiction. And this is also an auspicious world. There is no Ravan, no vibration of Ravan. So we are waking up to this world. Everyone in this world is worthy of loving. We are understanding what it means. If they have no vibration, slightest, anything of Ravan, which means no comparison, complaints, competition, slightest sorrow or big sorrow, there is no reason for it. What remains is silent bliss and love. Everyone in this world are beings of bliss and love. Authentic, inside out. And they remain like this regardless of what happens in the story. They have woken up. If one is still in the dream, dream affects you. When you have woken up, dream becomes a story. As we continue on our journey in the sky and on earth, we remain awake. The soul remains awake. Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy to hear some comments, or you said there are some comments or questions from yesterday. Let us address some.
When you mentioned the homework about the diagnosis, we understand that almost all souls are in bondage, unconscious, and actually enjoying the world of Maya. And however, we cannot force change, and they often don't want to change because it means the perceived idea of giving up worldly things, pleasures. So how effective is the eagle awareness in this problematic human world? We understand the method, but a majority of people will reject it. Do you have any comments?
Sure. We will be taking this in some detail, this area. Yeah. So if the question still remains, come back with the question towards the end. But the broader subject will cover it.
How can, this may also be covered, how, in general, how can we get others out of the honeypot? It's a similar question, maybe.
Sure, yes. Sure, so let us come to the subject of today, and then we will come to the questions again at some point. I want to start with the story. And the story is in a book by Peter Russell. This book is about planet Earth, and it is about environment and what is happening to the planet. Peter Russell is a physicist, and at one time he was in Cambridge. But that book is different. I'm just considering this story The book starts with this story, first page, first chapter. I'm telling a little revised version of the story, a bit shorter version. In a boat is sinking, and in the boat are the passengers who are oblivious to what is happening to the boat, and they are having party. And there are new kinds of cakes, and some are very generous, giving their cakes to others. That is what is happening in that boat, oblivious to what is happening to the boat. And in 15 minutes, half an hour, the whole thing is going to go into the water. So you are understanding the situation and what are your priorities. If there is an option to come out of the boat, there are enough cakes on the land. Will you come out of the boat, or will you stay in the party with the cakes? If your loved ones are with you, your children, your friends, what is your sign of love? Do you want to give them cakes, or do you want to take them out of the boat? So this is a big, broad question. And let us come to the sketch we used yesterday that helps in this. So he says in that book, our planet Earth is in the position of this boat. That it is sinking, and everyone is in the party. So for us to know, our boat is here, planet Earth. The boat is here. So at such a time, if I am just thinking of this world, what happened today, what happened yesterday, I'm in the boat. Your mind is locked into the drama, the cyclical thoughts or obsessive thoughts. But you are in the boat during those minutes and seconds. So what we said in the past, downward spiral. If you are creating some new attachments, then you tie yourselves in the boat. The soul gets trapped in the boat with a knot. So every attachment, you are tied. How do you know there is an attachment? You want to answer? Someone may say, oh, no, there are no attachments. I got no attachment. How do you know there are attachments?
Sorrow, pain.
All of these things may come later. Is there the way of knowing in the early stage? And there is no sorrow, there is just...
Desires, needs, thinking, where the thoughts are going, maybe. You don't want to stop eating cakes. Thoughts about others.
Good, very good. So cyclical thoughts. When you revisit the situation or people or object, you are revisiting it again and again. That is a sign that there is a knot. You cannot let go. One person said, for 16 years, I've been thinking of the same thing over and over again. So then there is definitely some attachment somewhere. You are tied in the story. That is a camel and elephant story going on. There is some kind of a script there. And you are trapped. Why did this camel say this? Why did the camel did this? You cannot let go. So there's something abnormal there. So any attachment you create, you are there in the boat. And which means even if you decide to come out later, you see the more serious situation, or in the last minute you're realizing, I have to come out of this. No, that knot that is there that will prevent you from coming out. Certain life situations like lust, addictions, the whole department of lust in any form, it has got power to trap you in a big way. Addictions and some human relationships, I would say, they become like double knots. It shows you how much sorrow people take in these situations. That tells you how strong the knots are. So in other words, there are double knots, which means the soul is trapped in a more serious way in this sinking boat. During the seconds, minutes, you are just remembering your home. You are coming out of the boat. Maybe I should show you a boat. This is not sinking boat, but just a boat is going past. Can you see a boat?
Yes, quite good size.
So during the seconds, minutes, you are just thinking of the home. You are caught in the, you are coming out when you are thinking of the home. When you are remembering God, you are coming out of the boat. When you are seeing yourself as a guest, as a trustee, in different ways, you are disengaging yourselves from the knots. You are coming out of the boat, sinking boat. Soul consciousness in any form helps you come out of the boat. When you use paras, it is a big help to come out of the boat. Patthar, you cannot see anything other than the boat. That is what the patthar is. Patthar is made for the person to get trapped. That's why paras is so important for us. It helps you come out. When you are seeing others as souls, you are coming out, you are also helping. It's a very precious help, subtle help. You are shining light on the truth for them. As we said yesterday, language of the soul reaches the soul. So the questions that were asked, many people don't understand, don't agree. They may have different ideas. They got kicks. So in such a world, you just seeing this big truth, seeing that they are souls and they got a home and they got a bigger world and they are immortal. This is like creating light. Our whole problem is between ignorance and clarity. That is the game. Battle is between this. Who will stay in the sinking boat? One who cannot see clearly what is happening. One who cannot even see that there is any life beyond the boat. Then he will say, no, this is life. Life is cakes. Yes. So there is the ignorance. In the world of ignorance, light of truth is the antidote. So you are bringing this light of truth. We also remember this dotted green line. This dotted green line represents ignorance. Your aim is to bring yourselves out, and your service is to take others out of ignorance. They need to see clearly what is happening. So this is a nice scenario. There is a boat that is sinking, and you are understanding what is happening. Your priority is to come out of this sinking boat yourselves to start with. And you understand, it is not just a decision, you want to come out. There are knots created, past knots are there. Ask yourselves, if you aim for half an hour to stay in the experience of yoga, do other thoughts come? If other thoughts come, it is because there are knots. They don't come just random. There are reasons why these thoughts come. Then also gives you the homework. What do you need to do? They have to be undone. You have to, how do you undo them? Use light of knowledge. See the irrelevance. Yesterday we saw, once you shine light, you see it is absurd. See the absurdity of creating attachments in that story. Creating attachments, creating ego. You are seeing absurdity there. The answer is light of truth that dissolves the knots. This is for ourselves. So now let us say you come out of this sinking boat completely. It means a lot to come out of this, as we are saying, come out of the sinking boat means a huge achievement. It is not just a decision. It literally means you have become free from ignorance. How will it present? Free from ignorance. You will say, and you will know in the dreams and during the life that you own nothing in that story world. Camel and elephant story, you may be even acting in it, but you own nothing. Not one atom in that world can be mine. You don't create an ego within that story. Zero identity. Even in dream, the dreams don't just come from nowhere. That's what you believe. That is you, that is mine. That's why the dreams come. So if you have this inside out absurdity in the story, how absurd, temporary story to believe that something that is mine, and zero desires. That includes preference, as we said. Yesterday we said there is a cloud, and I create a desire, I get trapped in that cloud. So here one who is out of the bondage. He is not having any bondage in this story world. It seems absurd to create some preferences in a camel and elephant story. How absurd? What has it got to do with me? What happens in the script? He is free from not one atom there can be mine. He knows he can't own anyone else in it. This camel is mine, this is mine. Then he knows. So to be free from the bondage, to be out of that sinking boat, means to be free from all bondages. So let us say he has come out of this sinking boat. He has come to God. As I became free before it was too late, from the sinking boat. And so Baba says, good, you have become free. That's amazing. That's excellent. Without pain, without sorrow, you have let go of these strings and the knots. Now you go back in that boat again. You go in the same town. You are going in the same family, same house, same body, same job. You became free from just now. You said in the mind, you become free from the whole thing. And Baba says, go back in that whole setting again. Why? Why does he send you again?
To help others.
Good.
and to free them.
Good. So the reason you are going back in that boat is for a mission. You got a mission, God's mission. And that mission is to free your brothers. You know that in this world are all your brothers. Who are the brothers? The invisible travelers. They are the brothers. Not Freddie and Tom, and they are characters of the drama. You are having this very clear understanding. One is the story going on in the background, but your brothers are invisible brothers. You yourselves are invisible, so your brothers are invisible. And you know that just as you were caught in that web, so also others are caught in the web. So that is the reason you are going in the boat. You are using that body, mind, time, whatever is that. You are going there as an ambassador of God. You are going there as a trustee. You know that you can't own anything in that story world, but quite happy to use things within it as a trustee for the mission. So if the Queen of England sends an ambassador to Australia for 2 months, and when he goes there, there's a house to use, there is a place to use, car to use. He's a trustee there. And he knows he doesn't need to own anything there. He has gone for a certain task, and he will use these things, and then after 2 months, he comes back again. He doesn't think he has lost anything. He has gone for a mission. In the same way, you, the soul, you go in this world for a mission. So you are quite happy to use the body, use the house, use the whatever is around. And then you may have some duties. If there is a family, you may have to look after the family, take the basic sustenance. You have to give the education or see the basic. That is not your mission. You have gone for your primary mission. Underline this word primary, because sometimes you may lose your primary mission and get caught into something else. Not forget, you have gone there for the rescue of the souls. That's why you're gone. That's why you're sent. Everything else is to support this. So say someone has gone in the boat. He may need to use ropes for the rescue. And maybe some time is required so that you can do a job, so you can buy ropes. You know, so there are others who are using the ropes. You can do the job to support that task. You do the job so that you can buy ropes and they can use the ropes. But even job becomes spiritualized. You are doing it for the ultimate mission. So here you may have to do the job so that at least it can pay for the livelihood of the body. So, and body you need for the task. But if you are in the past, what used to happen? I was doing the job for Ravan. Your whole mission, you were in that boat for Ravan's reason. Different heads of Ravan needed different things. Like one head of Ravan wants a bigger hat, another head wants a bigger cake. So all these reasons, you are in the drama. If not your Ravan, someone else's Ravan. Someone else's means your relations, they are Ravan, they want something, and you were a bit careless. And then all your time is gone to feed these 10 heads. Your 10 heads and 10 hits of others. Now you have come out of that party. You have come out of that boat. That finished. That part finished. And now you are going for the mission. And we use the word Srimad, and most of you have heard the word Srimad. In this mission, there is a commander in charge of the mission. And he coordinates the rescue. So you are seeing how things should be done. And you are not doing your own sort of rescue, but you are connected. And any doubt, should I be doing this at all? You are free to check. But internally, you have got a very clear aim. What is your task? Why you are here? In this, you are, as was mentioned, what we heard at the beginning itself, your thoughts and your mind itself is of great value. So World Benefactor, your understanding the bigger map, and so now the World Benefactor. Rescue of the souls. We saw yesterday the problem is they are in bondage. They are tied in this sinking boat. They may be not even conscious. So your vision is primary in this. That is bringing light. Are you seeing the soul? Understand the great value of this. Whoever you meet, see if even 10 seconds you are giving this extra attention and seeing the soul. Here is the invisible soul, immortal soul from that form. He is visiting this story world. He may be awake, he may not be awake, but you are reminding him. You are seeing him that way. So your vision, your attitude, your thoughts, they all have value here. In fact, every penny has value. As we said, in the rescue, you may need to buy some ropes, So what is the other use of anything? Ravan will use it. Choice we have is either Ravan or Ram. If not your Ravan, someone else's Ravan will use it. That becomes sin. That becomes penalty for others, for you. So your aim is to use things for Ram as much as possible for the task. Someone asked a question. Bill Gates, he is helping so many charity projects, and they are very well thought out projects. What is he doing in the context? In what way where does it fit in his charity? What would you say? It is like, should it be an ideal? Make lots of money and very quickly, and then do lots of charity, big worldwide charity, but intelligently, thinking ahead and planning vaccination, preventing problems. How do you see this in with your understanding? Is he the World Benefactor the way you understand, or should he know something more? Or should he the ideal? He's ideal for many people. So is he your ideal?
There's some quite strong answers here. Giving more cakes, it could be like Ravan's charity, or the motivation could be to earn name or fame. It doesn't change the consciousness, and it could be part of the problem even. It could come from greed, it could be ego.
Yeah, it's very good. He calls himself an optimist, Bill Gates. Greatly appreciate what he's doing and has a very good heart. But as we say here, we need to know all factors clearly. And there are on the boat, there are some who don't get cakes, and there are some who are taking someone else's cakes. That is all going on. World is full of robbers and all kinds. Not necessarily robbers, but people with greed, people with attachments. So some want more cakes, some want someone else's cakes. Some are very good making cakes for others, and there are some who are renouncing their cakes and giving to others. But all this is happening with ignorance. You are not seeing that the boat itself is sinking. If you were to see it, that boat is sinking, your priorities would be different. Now we saw on the very first day, this box that we see here, it comes with a label, and label is and. One label on this box, there is an and. Every drama episode has an and. So we don't need some books by Martin Rees. Martin Rees was a professor here, whose book is Final Century. He says, this is the last century. This civilization is going to disappear before the end of this century. But leave aside something of that kind. Things can happen tonight, the destruction. But every episode has an end. This body has an end. And here, once we have understood the bigger map, we are understanding the soul, the passenger is the soul. Soul needs to be helped. And that's what we saw yesterday. What is the real problem? Real problem is soul is in bondage, and he's the invisible traveler. He is in bondage. He is unconscious. He is ruled. Everything is ruled by Ravan. The enemy is in charge. Many factors are against, and this soul needs help to become free from this situation he's in. Now that means once you got this understanding, your factors are different. So we said Bill Gates sees himself as an optimist. We need a realist, not just optimist. I can be optimist, but then suddenly you see reality is different, and all that you planned for is a waste. So when you see clearly all the factors, then your intervention has results, but there are no regrets, because you are working with the foundation of truth. So that is now your very clear world benefactor, agreed, but you know exactly what you are doing, what kind of world benefit, at what level. So there are passengers, and if any of you have seen a film by name Poseidon Adventure, this was very old film. I don't know if in that there is something similar. Boat is sinking, and in that there is one hero. He tells the other people he knows exactly what is the way out, and others say no. The captain will come. Captain will save us. He says, no, captain is under the water. The captain is not there anymore. Follow me. They say, no, someone else will come. And then more water comes in. Suddenly something breaks and the wall gets flooded. And last moment, everyone is rushing to climb at the same time. And it is like difficult. He still tries to say. It is a nice message. Remember it after many, many years. And this is a message for us also. As the water level rises, many more will come. But right now, there are many who already know, who are looking for the way out. You reach them. It is not that you run after some people who want cakes. And there are some who already know they should be coming out of this. They just want to know how. You create your time for them. Your approach for others may be slightly different to explain. You need to have a project for all levels. You need to explain what has happened to the board, what is going to happen. You have to clarify. That is another. But there are enough who are ready to, or want to come out. And you just need to give a hand. Here we don't say these people are mine because they're from your town or from your family and someone else is outsider. No, World Benefactor, they are all from one family. All souls are from the same family. And whoever are ready, what often happens, you help some, they may become instrument to help others and people from your own town also. Yes, any thoughts?
Thank you. It's very rich, and we have a couple of questions. Does it mean that one who goes back into the boat is totally free of the story, or are there still challenges?
He's free. If you have come out first, you become free, and then you have come to the Father, and the Father has sent you. It means you have understood the story as story. And story has a script, and story has all kinds of twists and turns, but they won't bother you. That is in the background. You know that. And what you said, challenges, of course, the story means that. But the difference is now you are not getting drawn into it. That is the difference. You are focused to your primary task. Don't make anything else your primary task. To fix the story is not your primary task. Story has got a script. Like right now, for example, there are many things happening in the drama also. That is not your primary task. To solve some border issue somewhere, to solve a kind of vaccine, new kind of vaccine. That is not your primary task. Nothing wrong if you can easily do that, no problem at all. But your primary task, understand what is your primary task and don't let go of it. Very easy to get drawn into something else and lose your mission, why you are sent. You are the ambassador. You should know why you are sent, for what mission.
Okay, that's helpful. So in theory, if Bill Gates understood this knowledge and he decided it's important, in theory, could he do the spiritual, give spiritual benefit as well as physical, this sort of in parallel simultaneously?
Of course, yes. Because your then whole positioning will be to start with oneself. You will say, I myself need to understand this better. And as Sarah mentioned at the beginning, you help others within the limits of how much you have helped yourself. It is not possible for him just to say, okay, we should help everyone else. He will not understand what it means. So if he has understood what the bondages are, what is coming out of this delusion means, what the soul is and what the wonder of the soul is, and how everyone is, eternal prince. And what are they doing? They are not even experiencing who they are. If he has understood this, then he will realize this should be a priority. Everyone needs to see this. Not just those who are poor, even those, everyone, all 7 billion, 8 billion souls need to wake up to this. They're all drowning, all 8 billion.
It's a nice understanding that with the right intellect, it's possible. And the following statement to the question was, the issue is if there is charity, physical charity done in Ravan's world, there is a danger that it could make Ravan bigger as we get the ego could take commission and create an identity of I'm so charitable. So that was maybe more of a comment, but
not necessarily. Nothing against charity that is done, and different people are doing it. Nothing against it, but is that the highest? That's the question. Is when you understand all the factors, what would you do?
Okay, thank you. Question: how can I create so much trust in myself that others will trust and then follow what I'm doing or follow me?
It is not even required. Don't need to work on that level. Our whole positioning is truth and light of truth. When you create light, everyone can see clearly. Light of truth, it is silent.
Should we be paying extra attention or give extra help to those with double knots?
We give help to those who want to become free. You are creating the awareness, as we said, the whole world, all 7.8 billion souls, they all need to know what is happening to the boat. And everyone is in some form of double knots. And it's in the variety of traps, mini knots and double knots. So everyone needs to know. But we ourselves should see that we don't create knots.
One chat message, people don't listen to the words, but rather than analyze, lead by example. I thought that was a nice comment. Can we not enjoy the drama world without making or having any attachments by remaining soul conscious? So can we not enjoy the world?
One who is free, he enjoys this physical world more than one who has created attachments. In fact, disproportionately more. The soul that is free right now, fully free, he finds this moment is an extraordinary gift. And the next, he feels it. It is not a nice knowledge. He feels it. And the next moment is a gift. He may be just sitting and there is a lorry honking the horn and there is a stone and water. You feel this is a drama, and circus that is offered to us, and on a scale and the wonder of it. And there is wind and there is some water, so rich. Every moment appears rich for one who is free. Just like any tourist, tourist in your town, they enjoy the place more than local people. Only reason is local people have got attachments. Whereas tourists, they don't have attachments. In some holiday places you go, you instantly know who are tourists here and who are the local people, because tourists are happy in their faces, whereas local people are, there is heaviness on their faces. So here you become free and you find every moment is a gift. And everything, whatever that is happening, noise and sound and appears during those minutes, you will find no complaint. Fog, rain, everything appears great. I was going to read a short passage of the Murli Avyakt, one World Benefactor. If you are, and then if there are any questions or comments, is that okay?
Very good. It's a good time just to swap the translation so they don't miss anything. I don't know if Heather is working on it. So there's not a pause. Maybe also Nicole will be changing now. But yeah, please continue.
Yeah. So this is Murli, 21st of June, 72. Previously, you gave time to yourselves. But the present stage is of being world benefactors. It is not a question of just one or two. The souls of the entire world are unhappy and peaceless. So you have to become benefactors and make the unlimited world happy and peaceful. Even now, a lot of time is being used for the self. Is your time spent in battling? Battling with Maya or something? Is your time spent on battling? Or do you also use your time for world benefit?
¿O utilizáis vuestro tiempo para beneficiar al mundo?
Throughout the whole day, how much time do you give for the world? What is this spiritual birth of yours for? It is for world benefit, is it not? Why do you not perform the actions for which you have taken this birth for? since your birth is a Brahmin, then the sanskaras of the father should automatically be the sanskars of the children. You saw Father Brahma in a visible way. For what did he give the time of his sleep at night, or the time of rest for his body? He gave it for the task of world benefit. He gave it for the benefit of all souls, not for himself. Through words, he spoke of world benefit. This is known as being a world benefactor. To give time to battling with obstacles in your mind, will be considered as something wasteful, is it not? Something that is not useful is wasteful. The father gave his useful time for world benefit. So if the children continue to use their time wastefully or for themselves, would that be following the father? You have to become equal to the father. So check, am I using not just the maximum time, but all my time and thoughts for world benefit? What will those who use all their time and all their thoughts for world benefit become? They themselves will become world emperors, will they not? If you still continue to use time for battling or for yourselves, how would you become a world emperor? When you become so busy, waste thoughts will also finish. And you will constantly have powerful thoughts. Your time will be used for world service. When you have this stage, then to give time to trivial things or waste the power of your intellect will seem childish games. Okay, I'll stop here. And maybe just last line. To such elevated souls who remain constantly stable in the awareness of being world benefactors and who are engaged in the service of world benefit. Namaste. So it is nice to hear Baba's words on this subject and some this metaphor that might help us understand our positioning of the soul. It is nice, Baba connects it. Once you start applying yourself for a larger cause, mission, then there is no time for Ravan anymore. It is a nice way to even finish Ravan's department because they are busy with Ram. we often say there is not, we don't have too much choice. Either use your time for Ravan or Ram. So more you become busy with Ram, there is no time for Ram. Become creative, how you can use it, and this whole world needs your light of truth. And so remaining busy with that helps yourself also. So same thing applies to everything. Either you use it for Ram, or Ravan will use it. If not you, or someone else's Ravan. Applies to your time, your thoughts, applies to every penny. War is between Ram and Ravan. There is no United Nations peace zone in between. Either you are one camp or the camp. Yes, Sarah, want to add anything?
It's very powerful. It's a comment, and I wonder if it's good for a question. It's not directly related to this Murli, but the subject. Often you see, is it okay?
Yeah.
Often you see people that have awakened, in inverted commas, to their World Benefactor mission, that they have then formed an attachment to the mission, and they justify all their actions, whether they're good or bad, because they are convinced that they are doing it for God. Have these people really been awakened, or is it just that the Pata minds are convincing them of that?
Yeah, that's why we were mentioning earlier the primary mission. To understand this primary mission, because in the name of primary mission, many side streets can come, and it becomes your mission, and you don't even know that is. It has become side street. Worth checking further repeatedly. Is this going to take the souls out of the sinking boat? Like, just as an example, my mission is not to convince people that they have to become vegan in their diet. That is not my mission. But it can become my mission all of a sudden. I become vegan, and my mission is not to convince people they should dress in a certain way or what should be their lifestyle. That is not my mission. Nothing wrong with all these things, but is that my mission? Don't get drawn into any of these things. My mission is, let me repeatedly check, am I aligned? It can happen to anyone. Maya will try to take all of us in the side street. First, we have to protect ourselves in this. And then if you think it is easy, give a try to create clarity for others, but no light of truth. Create thoughts, sakash. Don't get caught in one person's drama. It is, Baba is saying, not one or two. It is a world position. Let us create few more minutes of attention, and then there will be rooms. Some experience again. As always, the big help for us is in using the best sight, best intellect, light. And let us use the image we used yesterday. John acting in a children's drama, in a school drama, as Mr. Universe. He comes home. He comes as John. He doesn't bring Mr. Universe with him. Children have sense to do this. Here we are understanding this is a drama going on. All this technology and sound, Prashant, this is all happening on a stage. This is a drama, variety dramas, so much going on, sound, actions, masks, and corona masks. But invisible actor is happy to step back and be in that world of silence. Wants to come to the home of mommy and daddy. Happy to experience that expanse of light. Happy to understand his form as a point. So different to anything on the stage. Happy to be in that simplicity, the point. Happy to be with the family, true family. They all are in the form of points. Ranks and hats and stripes, the masks, they are all necessary for the theater. Behind, they remain simple. But this is real family, true family. This is the home of equality and simplicity. But home of sweetness. There is sweetness of the family. All belong to this one family and belong to us. This is eternal family. That Mr. Universe drama, anything's happen, drama finishes also. But the reality behind is so stable and eternal. This family is there forever, home is there forever. So comforting to know that there is a real world behind all this story. But in this real world is also the Father, true Father, also in the image of the point. Complete simplicity. Here is one who plays the part of hero. Who plays the part of God. Half the world worships him. But behind the stage, he is happy to see himself as a point, not polluted by the part. Happy to see himself like others, equal. Knows that he is like everyone else. The sign of wisdom is this. Not deceived. That is a sign of wisdom. The hero part, but you are not deceived. So we understand if God, playing the part of God, He remains free. For everyone else, this Iron Age part they are playing, it must be a lot easier. But happy to understand this immensely beautiful truth, where there is simplicity, where there is solitude, where there is sweetness, where there is silence, where there is sense. And so when he does come back in the performance, drama performance, he comes refreshed, secure. And so in the drama with that renewed enthusiasm, fun. For him to step back is fun, to be in the drama is fun. So we'll meet after the rooms.
Yes, and do you have a question or a statement or a focus?
What are your plans to address the situation of the sinking boat?
Thank you. Taking the discussion in the context of this mission as a trustee, and we will meet back in about 15 minutes, and there is a help button if you are in the wrong language group, and Heather will be assisting today. So we'll see you in about 15 minutes for some of the Q&A. Thank you. Resume the recording, and let's get a minute where we can just come back to this for ourselves, the experience beyond the boat and the freedom and clarity of this invisible traveler. Thank you. Really nice to consolidate and create time. And would like to warmly welcome Suzanne, who's joining us from Sweden. And she was ever ready to share some thoughts about today's subject. So warm welcome. Over to you.
Thank you, Sarah, and good to see you again. It has been really a nice experience to be in this first Sanjeevani retreat, and then I have been joining for the weekends. So I feel it's both a new inspiration and also a good sustenance for myself. So thank you everyone for that. Yes, today actually what touched me most, I think, was this when it came the question of enjoyment in the drama, and this answer that you gave, Prashant, about that when there is freedom and when there is true freedom, there is that lightness and that feeling of every scene being an extraordinary gift. And I really love that perspective, and because it brings such a lightness inside that we are here, and it's like a wonder in a way, and just to have that, because when there is not that awareness, there would be some sense of heaviness or confusion in the mind. So yeah, I was just reminded of that. But it's not about at all when I have that freedom and are full in the true self, there is no emotional needs that I need to fulfill through any scene or anything in the drama. But there is that support, or that support and connection from God and from Baba and from the self. And so really that's freedom. And I feel on my own journey, I have started to feel that more and more, that freedom from, like more freedom on an emotional level of not taking support like before. And then that lightness come and these feelings of that things are a gift, and we are here to contribute. And I also really like this aspect today that was brought up from about the right priority and not being sidetracked, and that I need to regularly ask myself those questions, that I'm really connected with my true mission and the true task. So that was also, that was really good to hear. So thank you.
Thank you, and appreciate the summary, but also the layer of your experience in its experiential approach as well. That it's consolidating maybe what you've already had felt, but taking it further and clarifying. So it reminds me, one example was when I was in the Far East and I saw my cousin. We did arrange to meet, but it was a bit of a wonder because he was working there and I was visiting. So there's a feeling when you meet someone you know, but taking this at a spiritual level, it's like we're all brother souls from the home. And when you meet, it's like that same wow feeling for the soul that is conscious. Is the wonder, happiness of meeting here in these costumes. So it can be that kind of feeling of happiness about connecting.
And also what you're saying now, it also just reminds me of the love for souls, but not the attachment to all the details around it, but really that is also connected to freedom, because our nature is to love, and but it needs to come from truth, and then that just brings an enormous meaning in life.
Yes, thank you. getting the clean, clear love at the soul level, not the Cinderella. Thank you very much. Very, very nice, and appreciation in the chat. So welcome back to everyone, and any insights from your sharing, questions, feel free to share, and welcome back to Prashant.
It's so nice to hear Suzanne again. And nice in this connection. Once you understand you are immortal, that is what soul consciousness means. You understand you are immortal and you are beyond harm. And if you are beyond harm, what is all this fuss about? You find nothing matters, because nothing can harm you, even the slightest. And then everything becomes fun. You're going up and down. It is circus, and it is game, and it is entertainment, roller coaster. But you die, born. One philosopher says, he's not frightened of death at all. And his argument is because before he was born this time, he was dead. Before he was born, he was obviously dead. And it did not create the slightest inconvenience to him. So he is not frightened of death. So same thing applies to all of us. Once you understand your immortality, and once we cross that line, ignorance, then those who are immortal, they spend their whole life worrying about death, trying to prevent death in some form, and they are greedy and they are doing sin on top of sin, trying to address this, some kind of, at least they can solve this riddle of death. In the whole life, they're busy, but also suffer in different ways. All complications come because of this one area, and they can't appreciate what is offered to them. They can't appreciate. Just this losing this sight of their immortality. There is a scripture, that is called Amar Katha, and the essence of knowledge is Amar Katha, story of immortality. I'm not suggesting you should read the scripture, but just understanding that we are immortal, that is enough. Happy to hear some comments or questions, and then we create more time for experience.
Thank you. At what point of our spiritual development can we become world benefactors, would you say?
From first second. Baba doesn't give us too much time. Baba's whole thing is of 1 second. Everything happens parallel. One helps the other.
Thank you. Fascinating. Can you say something about helping the world just through my thoughts?
Sure. Let us come in the experience. All of this applies only if I have helped myself. So to know this, if we have crossed the line, Ravan cannot do world service. So the soul needs to be out of this camp and understand he exists as that presence, and he is immortal, and his word is alokik. That is the first thing. He has to use the sight and negative intellect. The soul is conscious and the soul is aware. One side is the story, he is aware of it. Many things happen in the story according to script. But he is now aware of the real world beyond. And in this real world, he is aware that everyone is lucky. Why everyone is lucky? To start with, they are immortal. They are also people of light. They belong to this great family of angelic souls. They got this home, eternal home. God's home is their home. And they themselves belong to God, loved by God, in a close relationship. It is not that some are peripheral, no, they all are very dear to God and loved by God in an eternal and close relationship. They are lucky. All are lucky. So when we are just seeing this, and even as Prashant is talking, let us stay in that experience. When you are just seeing this, what is happening? Your attention is coming here. Our attention is like light. What is happening? This big truth is there. It is an eternal truth. But everyone's attention is in the story. So as if there is something beautiful there, but it is in darkness. And everyone is so much attention in the Mickey Mouse cartoon and thinking about, worrying about. So light is in the wrong place. You are shining light. In the darkness, light has so much value. Even little light makes a difference. Say someone is hungry. And he says, I'm hungry, please, I'm dying, help me, give me something. And food is right in front of him, but it is in darkness. And he says, oh, I'm dying, help me. Have mercy. You don't have to go to buy food. And if you got light, just shine light. And then everything is solved. It is the easy answer. So here, big truth. We are talking here. Their immortality, angelic souls, life with God, life of love and auspicious. They all are good. They are safe, they are immortal, and they are also good. Angelic. It is, this truth is right in front of everyone's nose. But you need light. And that's why you bring light, this factor of light. It's a necessary catalyst. It's like anyone sees something even once, he knows. And then he will then make effort to make it stable. Once someone has seen the food in front of him, then he knows. Then he will find a way to eat it. But first he has to see. Thank you.
There's a question in the Murli. It said, Baba says, you don't need to give water to each leaf. You water the seed, and that helps the whole tree. So what does it mean in the context of World Benefactor?
Sure. And it is similar to the context we spoke just now. The whole physical world is a reflection of the subtle. So what is happening at a subtle level, that reflects at a physical in the lives of each and every one of us. So at the subtle level, if there is no light shining there, the truth is there, the wonder, perfection is there, but light is only 10%. So you can see only 10% perfection, 90% is in darkness. So that will reflect in the physical level. You will see 10% perfection, 90% imperfection. In the life, the whole life, it will be like that. If there is harmony, at the real level, there is harmony. But you are shining light, person is seeing only 10% of it. So the drama will reflect with 10% harmony, 90% disharmony. Soul is eternally healthy, but light is not there. 10% light. But in the Iron Age, it is even less. Baba calls it 0 degrees. So light is not shining. No one is even aware that exists. So it's expansion, the physical level. It will be dry. Baba sometimes calls it, the tree has become dry and fruitless, because this reality, the subtle reality, when I say subtle, not the subtle region, but this some whole dimension, alaukic dimension, that is the seed. Even one name for our soul world, within that, it is the seed world. It's a seed region. So when you are shining light there, you are seeing the Father, but also the whole reality, perfection, their life of unity and harmony, and they are all healthy and they are all good and full. You are seeing the greatness. That is like a shining light at the level of the seed and seed region. And reflection will become, will show this, that there will be perfection and fullness and harmony and health in the tree, which is the physical level. I hope the metaphor is clear. Please let me know if it is understood, but it is a metaphor. There is subtle, it is the seed, that whole dimension, not just a Father and his world. You are giving attention to that reality. And then the whole tree becomes full. What world is doing? Even the science world. And the Baba says science world cannot bring long-term success as opposed to silence. Yoga, your effort will bring long-term success. Your benefit is long-term as opposed to science. Why? Because science is Patthar system. They ignore the seed dimension altogether. Don't want to know. Their whole focus is on fruit. They want fruit. They want to pluck fruit. At a drama level. And then the fruit runs out. And what do you do afterwards? Because you have completely ignored the seed. So the system of science, but that represents our present world, they ignore the seed region. Their focus is on the fruit. And I want to ask the question. It will be nice to hear if you want to ask anything more or add anything.
Well, I comment, I don't know if it was the same one that asked the question, but I think she says clear. We should focus on the reality, which is the seed region, and with this awareness, bring light.
Success at all levels. So you bring success, not just spiritual, but physical is a reflection of the spiritual.
Yes, not just taking the fruit, but investing in the seed. Yes, very clear. We've come to time, and I know that we have one more drill to share for reflection, meditation, and there was some acknowledgement in the chat of appreciation. Would you like to share any homework before we meet again?
Homework will be what we spoke just now, the aspect of coming to that seed region, and in that experience, it is like an all-round benefit. It leads towards seed stage. It is our steps towards the seed stage meditation. But it is also the lighthouse effect. So since our aim is this weekend World Benefit, that will be a very good way to create time from now until we meet again in a seed region, seed stage, lighthouse. Little homework.
Made a note in the chat. So it seems to have gone blurry. You see halfway in the subtle region now. So yeah, really helpful, very profound. Sorry, I may just need to adjust this. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
So we'll play the drill now, and we will acknowledge all the questions and maybe do a recording, put it in the G drive, because there's a few more questions from today. So we'll confirm tomorrow, and enjoy the drill, some meditation and reflection, and see you tomorrow.
अभी अभ्यास करो। एक सेकंड में निर्विकल्प निर्व्यर्थ संकल्प एकाग्र एक बाप दूसरा न कोई। एक ही संकल्प की एकाग्रता शक्ति के अनुभव में बैठ जाओ। टाइम नहीं लगाना 1 सेकंड में